You started, haven't you? You started.
No.
No.
Fuck off.
Get a nice shot of that as well.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. Who's that?
So this is where you live now?
This is where I live now.
I saw raw, untamed power.
Something truly special. And it is, isn't it? It's got to be. It's Ryan Johnson. It's going to be good. Well, what a year it's... Why? You only get a shot of that. 11 hours, people. People.
Now Dan here is doing the double bill tonight.
I'm doing the double bill.
He's doing a double bill.
Things aren't organised. We ain't got Gemma about 2 hours. We ain't got Gemma to organise us.
We ain't got Adam Coburn.
We ain't got Coburn. We've got Barton.
We've got Barton. So Dan's doing the double bill. He's seeing...
I'm seeing it in 3D. I can do this. You don't need to talk.
3D?
Yeah, I've seen it in 3D.
Both of them in 3D?
Both of them in 3D. I've got to wear 2 pairs of fucking glasses over my eyes.
Nonce. Both together in 3D.
I mean, who doesn't want to do that?
Me? Well, the tickets are sold out, so...
Episode 8. The one after Force Awakens. Or rather, after that one, we somewhat kind of want to forget.
Yeah. It was shit, wasn't it?
Hey, come on now. Hey now, I'm not going to say it was shit.
It was shit.
The ending was
you know
okay.
I'm going to edit this so you can say it was shit.
The end half was okay.
Shit.
The first half, now that's where
shit happens.
That's what the ending pretty
Shit.
tasty. As a Star Wars fan, Tom, it's tasty.
Tastes like shit.
Now I don't know how long I'm going to have in between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi.
No, it'll be pretty long, wouldn't it? If it starts at 9.
It starts at 9.
What? So you might see it before me.
Last Jedi before you.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, look at this. Look at this. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, it's got Star Wars. Star Wars everything. Star Wars everything.
Star Wars everything.
Made up.
He went to Star Wars Celebration.
Right.
That was Leia in booster disguise.
What?
Leia in booster disguise. No when Leia dresses up as the bounty hunter.
Oh, yes.
Oh yes.
It's time.
It's time for me to see The Force Awakens.
And I'm going to be left alone.
Tom's going to be left alone to edit.
Oh.
So I'll just say, see ya in a bit, mate.
So this is really awkward, Dan.
Yeah.
Because my phone ran out just after that.
I went to see Force Awakens and I came out that I was looking for you for ages. And
Well, before that, I went Toys R Us.
you went to Toys R Us?
Thought this would be a good time waster.
Why did you go to Toys R Us? Were you figgy hunting?
But
So how do we begin this? How do we really start talking about this? It's fascinating. It's really fascinating. We've been doing these for, what, 3 years now. You know, Force Awakens, I loved. I still love that film. I get that it's a flawed film. I get people's opinions on that film. I understand the opinions on it. Rogue One. Most people like it. I'm a bit... Something's not quite there for me with it. Now we have Last Jedi. I'm not going to go into spoilers because there's just no need for it. But with The Last Jedi, I really like, just to put it straight out there. And this is the Star Wars film that there is a real distinct divide of opinion on it. Where there are some people who are fans of the original trilogy that liked it, and there are fans of the original trilogy that don't like it. And then there are fans of the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy who also like Last Jedi and Force Awakens, but then there's also people who like the prequel trilogy but not the original trilogy and this new trilogy. And do you get the picture? There's so many different divided opinions on it, and it just shows how strange and subjective cinema is. What if we put this into perspective and said someone saw the original trilogy and then this trilogy came out before the prequel? What would people say about it? And then what would happen if the prequel trilogy came out after this? What would people say about that? It's intriguing. It's really, really intriguing. So what are people going to say after the next, I don't know, how many other Star Wars films come out? It's really hard to tell. But all I can tell you is this. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I did love it, I think. It's one of them weird... It is an incredibly weird film that has a very weird thing about it. That I couldn't... While watching it to begin with, I was like, I'm not sure where this is going to take me. And it took me somewhere different. I think it's what this franchise has needed. Because, you know, if you see the original trilogy, right? Original trilogy was the first thing that came out. We had lightsaber fights and we saw a bit of the Force, you know, Jedi mind tricking, things like that. Then you had the prequel trilogy, where the only real times we saw the Force was through things that we've already kind of seen. You know, lightning, you know, Force lightning, Jedi mind tricks and picking objects up. But it was more about the lightsaber fights, the prequels. And the Force Awakens title really does give an insight into what the next film in the trilogy is going to be. It's about the real Force. The things that a person can do with the Force. The Force has awakened, and this is what people can do with it now. The original trilogy is not about the Emperor, just as much as this new trilogy is about Snoke. This trilogy is about Rey and Kylo, as two characters. We know enough about Snoke. The film tells us enough. You know, we see that he wears gold. He's a guy that's clearly wealthy. We're even told that he's, you know, got a luxury suite on Canto Bay. You know, it's not... We don't need to know any more about this guy. And it's not... It completely threw everyone's expectation out the window. You know, I had things that genuinely surprised me. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I've had to process it. Why I'm a Star Wars fan, and you know what? It was Star Wars, for me. Again, there is going to probably be another Star Wars film that comes out that I do not enjoy. But it's just fascinating. Each Star Wars fan is personal to every individual. And Last Jedi, to me, was personal in how it fleshed out the universe and the ideas behind it. And the idea is that even if you are a good person, you're not a clear-cut good person. Sometimes. I think some people just don't... I don't know, I can't say. I'm not saying that this is people's opinion or understanding of Star Wars, because everyone has a different understanding of something, but to me, my understanding is that Star Wars is more than a lightsaber fight. It's more than X-Wings, it's more than TIE fighters. It's more than silly little nostalgia like that. It's about characters, and it's up to you if you want to say they're unfleshed out or whatever, but if you can relate to a character, that's a personal thing to you. To me, this film just explored the Force. It explored what you can do with the Force, and that it's not just about a lightsaber fight. It's now about how a character or characters should be methodical with a lightsaber fight. It's strategy. It's, you know, using the Force to aid themselves in a fight, and you see that in the film. You see it with Luke, and when people say Luke, I've seen some pretty ridiculous comments about Luke. It's
really?
like, that isn't my Luke. Some people have said that isn't my Luke Skywalker. It's like, well, yeah, it isn't your Luke Skywalker. This is this generation's Luke Skywalker. It's not yours. It's not mine. Well, it is mine because I'm grown up with this generation. But I think Star Wars has a different meaning to everyone. and the films represent that into how you view Star Wars. Me personally, I really like Last Jedi. I really liked it. It was a very weird watch, and when I was watching it, I couldn't quite make up my mind. But there was a point where I was like, okay, this is the film, this is the style of the film, this is where it's going. Let's get on board with it. As you described it, actually, Force Awakens was a box, and I never really viewed it as that. I thought that was a bit of a piss take from you, but The Force Awakens is a box. It's, you do have characters there. They're not quite all fleshed out, but that was set up. It's all set up for something, I want to say, greater, and greater was The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi just filled that box with stuff. It filled it with understanding to what this universe is, the characters, and where we're at now.